Assembling a Rolly John Deere digger on wheels. 2 tools required, hammer and a Phillips screwdriver. So I've learned over the years how to do these fairly quickly. So they give you an item just to put on the cap nuts. Cap nut in here, one of your axles, you need a solid object, the ground obviously, on your wheel, a washer, and here's the frame. And we'll make sure we have the V on the wheels pointing forwards. Looks really good when it's finished. There's no difference to front or the back of the wheel, just make sure the V on both wheels is going in the same direction, because it takes away from the look at the finish. The hammer on the second cap nut, put one of the little tools underneath, the other overhead, bingo. Same the other side. And again, make sure the V's on the wheels, like the real thing, are pointing the right direction. Put on your washer and your final wheel. And again, I just have a box here, so I'm doing it on the ground. Put one underneath to get a bit of resistance, and a cap nut. You will always wind up with a spare cap nut. No harm to keep that. Second thing we'll put on the body of the digger. So quite simply, that goes in there. Spins. There are 3 black screws in the bag of fittings. Leave the 3. If you have a screw gun, this speeds it up. The screw gun is out of action today, so I'll do it with the hand. You'll notice there's a little triangle on the top of the plastic moulding. Make sure that you sit that into the receiving triangle on the underside of the body. Then the screw. And twist. As I said, a screw gun is dead handy for this, but it only takes a minute or 2 anyway. This should take about 8, 9, 10 minutes. I've done them before. Allow yourself, I suppose, first time round, allow yourself half an hour. And it's a relatively easy one to do. And we just put in the other 2 screws now. Very good. Put the body on. We have 5 different pieces here. We'll line up all the parts. And 5 bolts as well, actually, and obviously 5 nuts. Actually 6, I'm wrong. And they're all different lengths, so just be careful. And I find it handy to work from outside to in. Really user-friendly product to put together. 3 2 5 1 6. 5 of the nuts are the same, and the large one obviously is the large one. So our 2 long arms here, we put them together, and the receive here. So the longest one goes in first, and I only hand tighten all these until we get the product just about ready. And I forgot to do something at this point. You will see there is a receiver here, or it's a little addition, it's a little pull-up thing to help, and this should be on the upside. And you will see actually that, I should do this close up really. See here at this point, the moulding is cut out to receive the nut. So you'll know which side it goes, left or right. So just push that in and we hand tighten it. Okay, progressing nicely. That puts in there, and you will also notice that these two arms, there's a left and a right, which we'll see on the moulding. It's fairly obvious. The right will only go into the right side, and the left will only go into the left side, says he. Small bit of force required there. The right one moves a bit, the left one holds. At this point, it's just the next screw, and again it goes from the left side right through, and again hand tighten. I suggest you hand tighten this and don't go beyond hand tighten at this stage. Lovely. Two little plastic arms. You'll see there's just a plastic moulding. Hold them together. I'm just going to stand up at this point. They clip in left and right. There's a little receiver there, and just make sure you break off all the mouldings. And just look at the instructions at this point. It's always very handy to, you'll see there are two little grooves that pick up on this, that catch the bucket, and when you turn it, they lock. And all this then together feeds in on the underside here. And again, we're going left to right. And again, I just know from experience, it's always best just not to tighten. Just hand tighten until you have the product just about finished. There you go. There we go. And we pull another nut and we hand tighten. Now, you'll notice here's the swing arm. I'm going to put this in here, and we have the only washer. See, the only washer goes on this side. Feed in with the nut, and again we're on hand tighten. On hand tighten, and the second last nut. All right. Right again. And then the very last one. Here. Yeah. And we're back to the arm here that just picks up on the bucket. It actually doesn't matter whether you go left or right on this one, but we'll keep it uniform. We have our little signature horn that's simply pushed in with the hand. These are little caps just to give the product a nice finish. And again, the slot in, as I said to you at the start, the wheels are, there's no inside or outside, they're all back to front, but it's nice just to have all the wheels going in the one direction. Finally then, the stickers to give the product a nice look. So very quickly, we'll throw on the stickers. The global John Deere iconic brand. And again, you can do this as per the drawings, a nice little finish. Typically I find this nice little job. Mammy is typically better and neater at this job than Daddy. But, gives a nice finish to the product. You're probably saying to yourself, you've forgotten to tighten everything. Not the case, no, I just leave it to last, it's just something I do. Just take your time with the stickers because they're quite sticky, and you don't want to have bubbles in them. It takes away from the look of the product. So just take, for the sake of a minute or two, take your time and have the product looking good. I'm sure it costs Rolly money to get the John Deere brand, so I'd like to have all the other brands, but I'm sure the John Deere would be one of their leading brands. Rolly toys made in Germany. I have, we have 10 stickers, so as I said, just take your time, and he's probably saying he's not looking at the drawings, but I suppose I've done so many at this stage I don't need to. And finally then, you just tighten everything, just hand tighten, and just be careful if you're using a screw gun that you don't over tighten, because it is only plastic. You only tighten it, you can actually, we've had people come back and they say the frame is cracked, and sure you can see it's been done with a power gun, and you don't want to ruin the child's surprise. So as I said, even if you have a screw gun, I recommend at this stage you only hand tighten with a Phillips screwdriver. Three to go. Lovely product, very popular. This comes in both the John Deere and the Cat brand. So just hand tight. So that is the Rolly John Deere digger on wheels. Full 360 rotation. You can release up and down and also work the bucket. Absolutely beautiful product. Have a great day. Thank you very much.